Thank you for the warm welcome, and thank you all for joining us on this great Sunday call. Very happy to see all of you here. We have almost 80 people on the call today, so thank you for being in and taking your time to hear the recent updates. I wanted to update you about a couple of main areas. Peter actually opened up the bigger picture very well there, and thank you, Peter, for sharing with us all that great knowledge and information. We'll talk about a little bit more about that topic in a few minutes, but before that, I wanted to bring you up to date on the recent developments here in Thailand. So number one, I believe that you've seen the video from a few days ago where we signed the agreement with the district government at Sakkeo. So let's start off with that, and I wanted to give you a little bit more insights on what does that really mean, what are we going to be doing over there, and how is that moving forward. So this agreement has actually been in the making for quite some time. You might remember last year, probably around April 2020, when we started talking about this location in Sakkeo. At that time, our target was to set up our first Thailand project at that facility. But then we were presented by the opportunity of acquiring the existing facility in Bangkok instead, and that's what we decided to go first. So now was the right time for us to get back to that conversation, and we signed this agreement with the local government, which includes a two-step action plan. So step number one is that we are taking over the facility and we're going to start to process all the incoming garbage which is coming from the local community. On top of that, we are also going to process all the old plastic which you can see there in the landfill, which is in the tens of millions of kilos, which is there in plastic as of right now. So basically what we'll do is we are going to bring in some more machinery to properly start preparing this plastic waste. And we will separate the incoming waste from all the other garbage, and then we're going to focus on the plastic garbage. This plastic waste will then be cleaned, it will be processed, and then we're going to use that as a raw material for our Bangkok facility. This will be the first step. So this will give us now a very good way of taking the plastic from the community, cleaning up the environment, and taking it to our existing Bangkok project. The second step will be to bring in machines to the facility and start converting the plastic to oil also at that location. Initially, our plan was to build our own warehouses in this location, but right now we're targeting to use the government warehouses instead and to put our machines into them. This would save us a lot of money if this is possible, and we're having the government people now on working on this and trying to get us the proper licensing so that we could do this instead. So our target is that we would later in this year be able to have the documents and the licensing in place, and then bring in machines and start doing also the plastic processing there. But in the meantime, we're going to start by taking the waste and using it in our Bangkok facility. So this is a good step now, and this will be one, and let's say this will be the first of many similar government agreements that we're going to be hopefully doing this year. And as you know, everything you're doing the first time is usually the most challenging. Once you get the first done, once you have a good reference example, there's many such deals that will follow. So this being the case, we're moving forward. We're already in talks with similar arrangements in other locations, and I'm looking forward to have more updates for you in the next coming weeks in this regard as well. So that's basically what's happening with the Sakkeo right now. On top of that, Peter mentioned that we've taken some really good progress with our technology, and I'm extremely happy to share with you guys some great information. So over the last, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks, basically after the small holidays from New Year, we've been doing a lot of work on improving the machines that we have there at our Bangkok facility. And whenever you are, let's say that you want to learn to play an instrument like a guitar or violin, whatever, it'll take you some time to start to learn it. And once you start to learn it, then you can start to improve your skills and so on. Well, with these machines, it has been very similar in that way. And I'm very happy to say that we are now learning how to play the violin. And as a result of that, we can see our conversion rate from plastic waste to oil to increase quite remarkably. I'm going to be very careful with my words now, because this is something that could potentially be communicated in a wrong way. So bear with me. We're going to make an official announcement about this also in our social media page and so on. So I'm going to try to pick my words here very carefully. But what I'm looking here is I'm looking at the latest production reports. Every time when we run the machine, we always do a proper report from every one of those things. So we talk about batches, we talk about production cycles, in other words, which means that when we have one of the machines, which we have now 3 at our Bangkok facility, when we have one of those machines that we are working, we always start the process by loading the machine, and we measure how long time did it take to load the machine, how many kilos of plastic was injected into the machine, how long did it take to process that plastic, how much fuel, how much energy did we use to process that cycle, and then eventually what came out. Now, from these machines, we get 2 types of products. We get something called a light oil, which is very similar to gasoline. And we get something called heavy oil, which is more similar to diesel. Depending on how much moisture there is in the plastic waste, that moisture will come out as water. So if the plastic is very wet, if it has been under rain, for example, all that water that is attached into the plastic will come out as water at the end of the tube, at the end of the process. So for us, it's always better if the plastic is very dry. And by having it dried, by having it more and more cleaner as possible, is always better. So what we've been doing now in the last weeks, we've been working to improve the raw material that we're using by focusing on more cleaner plastic raw materials, and also doing additional processes to dry the plastic, to try to limit the amount of moisture. Okay, so basically what we've seen now over the last cycles that we've been operating in the last 10 days is that the conversion rate that we've normally always calculated with 50%, you all know this, right? We go from 1,000 kilos to approximately 500 liters. This is how we're always calculating our returns on investment, our process, 50% conversion in average, okay? Well, I'm very happy to tell you that over the last 10 days, the conversion that we've been doing has been over 75%. Actually, and now I'm going to be very careful. So in average, it has been over 75%. In some cases, even over 95%. All right. So that means that, and let's say this in a way that we don't put out the wrong message. We're not guaranteeing that it will always be like this. Okay. We should still use, as an average, we should say that on a normal situation, we are still doing 50% conversion. But recently, this year, the fact is that during January, our conversion rate has been well over 75%, even up to 95% in some cases. This means that if this continues and if we can continue this conversion to be on such a high level, that means that from a 1,000 kilos of plastic waste, we're now making 750 liters of oil or even more. The reality is that this week, we have done almost 950 liters from 1,000 kilos. I'm not saying that will continue. I'm not promising that it's going to be like that all the time. This is just to share with you guys some of this daily progress that we're doing. But that's the reality, and it's pretty remarkable. If we can sustain, and obviously our target is to sustain and continue to keep this level of conversion and continue to deliver these results. But you can all do the calculation, you can all do the math. How does this affect our profitability as a business? And how does that affect our profitability and long-term targets when it comes to building value into the token, bringing value, delivering value for every single token holder and every single shareholder of the company? So we are definitely moving to the right direction, that I can tell you. And these recent developments in every single level of our business are now finally proving to everybody that we know what we're doing. When you take 100 kilos of plastic waste and you turn that into 95 liters of high quality advanced biofuel, okay, then now you have proven everybody that you know what you're doing. So this goes to show that we are definitely on the right track, and we should still, in our public communication, say that in average, we always calculate with a 50% conversion rate, but recently it has been even more than 75%. So this is something that we can be very proud of. Also, I'm very happy to tell you that the first month of Corsair's involvement with Cloud Horizon company has been very good. We have had a very good month, a very good start for the year, and I want to thank you all for the great work and the great support that you guys been given. I also want to give you my thank yous for your patience as you are waiting for us to organize these things with Mr. Frank Ricketts and have things finalized so that we can really move forward under the full management and control of Corsair Group. As of today, there are still certain areas where we are not in control, such as areas involving the financial matters of the company. There are some things that Frank is still organizing with the Mountain Wolf platform, and we're waiting for those to be fully resolved and completed. And then once this happens, then the financial areas and the final areas of the transformation will be completed as well. So we're hoping to get these done over the next few days, and then I can give you more update on this one as well. What I would like to inform you today, and we'll be sending out another update on this today as well, is that we're going to be doing a global call 2 weeks from now. So that is Sunday, 2 weeks from today. And during this global call, we are going to announce our strategy for the tokenization. So many of you have been asking, what is going to happen with the ISF? What is our plan? How are we going to do these things? And on this coming global call 2 weeks from now, Roger or Peter, maybe you can check the date from the calendar. What is that specifically? Then we'll have on that global call for you the new tokenization strategy and the plan, step by step, what we're going to do. There are going to be some changes, but believe me, these changes are all positive. They are all things that we need to do right now in order to make sure that we secure the long-term sustainability and the long-term plan for the token. Okay, there's going to be things that we will do in order to change things for the future. Some of those will bring a little bit extra work for some of you people, but don't be worried. This is all for the good, and we're doing things as we see them the best for the long term. But I know for a fact that every single ISF token holder is going to be happy from these developments. All right. So that's going to be the agenda for 2 weeks. And Peter, earlier in this call, mentioned about some of these global effects that has happened in terms of digital currencies and how the world is seeing the world or the crypto space at the moment. And Peter also mentioned an event that happened a few days ago where in more specific, what happened was that Elon Musk, who, well, you could say that he's at the moment officially he is the second richest man in the world, right after Jeffrey Bezos. But basically, let's say that he is probably soon to be again the richest man in the world. Well, what he did is he actually added into his Twitter profile, not just tweeting it, but he actually wrote Bitcoin into his Twitter profile. Okay. Now, the ones of you who have been involved with digital currencies for the last 2 years or more, you have been through this, how would I say, you've been through this evolution where you've been the crazy guy, the one talking about this digital gold and tokenization and all these things. And we've all seen so many different scams and bullshit and this and that happening in this space, unfortunately. And the ones of you who have stayed and who have believed that the blockchain as a technology is what is going to happen in the future, and the digital currencies are the future of finance. Well, I believe that this year, 2021, will be the year where you will stop to be the crazy one, and you are going to be the person that people are going to come back to asking for advice. And if you think about what happened in the last couple of months, you had, number one, you had the richest man in the world not only talking about digital currency, which he's done many times over the last months, but actually adding Bitcoin into his Twitter profile. The second thing is that the world's largest financial management company called BlackRock, which is a wealth management company managing over $8 trillion worth of assets, started investing in digital currencies. The only thing that is missing from here is that the world's largest company, which would be Apple, would make an announcement that they're going to put part of their cash reserves into digital currencies. That would be the last sort of like final nail in the coffin, if that's the right way to say. That would be the final thing to happen. And after that, there's no more question if digital currencies are here to stay. They are already. It's just a matter of time. The CEO of Visa, the Visa card, just recently announced that they are now looking to start using blockchain. They are looking into cryptocurrency-based payments, etc. So this is really happening now, guys. And what I can tell you is that we are in the right, absolutely in the right moment of time. And what we are doing is we are combining now two worlds together. Okay. So cryptocurrencies, number one, digital currencies are here to stay. The blockchain is here to stay. It's not going to go anywhere. All right. So whatever you do in that space, however you're involved in there, good luck for you. I wish you all the best. I think this is going to be a very interesting year. Just be smart, stay away from all the scams and all the hypes. If you're investing into digital currencies, use caution. There's a lot of ups and downs, but I do believe that this is a space that will continue to grow. And during this year, it will become mainstream. All right. Now, the other thing that will explode this year is the green, ecologically sound and sustainable investing. If you guys know a person called Robert Kiyosaki, who is an author and writer and educator on financial education, he just recently talked and wrote a book about a green tsunami, which is basically this new massive multi-trillion-dollar investment boom that is going to go to green investment. Anything to do with green, sustainable, and carbon neutral operations is going to be the next big thing. This money printing that the central banks are doing at the moment, how United States is now printing trillions of dollars, how the European Union is going to be printing trillions of euros. It's just getting started, guys. It's not going to stop. This is not the end of it. This is still the beginning of it. There's going to be trillions of dollars and trillions of euros printed in the next coming months and couple of years before this is all over. And a lot of that money is going to be invested into green projects. Any kind of operation and project and business that is involved in cleaning up our nature, improving our living conditions, and saving our planet from this destruction under the plastic garbage and air pollution and water pollution and climate change is going to be receiving massive amount of investments. Now, what are we doing at the moment with Cloud Horizon? It's not like we are just getting started. It's not like we just came up yesterday, this idea, hey guys, we should use this opportunity and create a token and start this business and get into it. No, we've been doing this for the last 2 and more years already. We are already there. We are one of the pioneers. We have the track record, especially from the last year. We are already in it. We're not one of the new guys who just see the opportunity and try to enter the market as a brand new player and try to get things together quickly and use this growth into their benefit. No, we are one of the old guys. We're one of the guys who belong there. We are one of the people who got this whole thing started. And what are we doing? We're combining these two spaces, the digital currencies, which are here to stay, which by every single aspect is now being verified and made mainstream. And we're combining them with the ecologically sound, sustainable, green, environmentally friendly businesses. With our business target is what? What is our target as a company? Is to save this planet, to provide the solution for the pollution. That's what we're doing. That's all we're doing. And if everything that is happening right now is just supporting our cause, supporting our mission, the money is no longer a problem. To have these projects financed by private investors, institutional investors, guys, that is not the problem anymore. That was the challenge 1.5 years ago, even 1 year ago. Right now, I'm telling you, the investments and the financing of these projects is going to be the smallest of our problems. There is billions and billions of dollars and euros looking to be invested in what we are doing right now. And what I'm telling you right now, please believe me, this is extremely good news for every single holder of the ISF token and for every single shareholder in Corsair Group, which I hope that by your contribution, each and every one of you on this call today will be part of sooner or later. So thank you very much for this time. Thank you very much for being part of this call again. And I hope to be seeing all of you latest by the upcoming global event in 2 weeks from now. Thank you very much.